Imagine this. You wake up in the morning. You can barely keep your eyes open. You're so tired. You're getting ready for school. You open the pantry, get your favorite cereal box, pour yourself a bowl, and then you get out your phone, or perhaps a laptop. You open YouTube, and you turn on your show. You know the one that's always there, Monday through Friday. It's reliable. It's consistent. A show with two grown men doing questionable things. That was me every day in 7th grade, and I have a whole bachelor's degree now. You know what that show is?
Good Mythical Morning.
So yeah, it's been a while for me. Also, there's a sweater I wear all the time. I'm always wearing it. Like, I wear it when I'm getting groceries. I see the same people. I'm always wearing this. It's just so comfortable, and it makes me feel good. And once in a while I get compliments on it. That makes me very happy. So yeah, those are my credentials. I'm a seasoned GMM fan. Like, it's so serious for me, I'm not kidding. Good Mythical Morning is a daily YouTube show hosted by Rhett McLaughlin and Link Neal, and it's been going on since 2012. It's a show, so it has an intro and a theme song that plays at the beginning of each episode. The intro changes every 3 seasons, and we're already on season 27 now, so I want to go back and watch all 9 intros. I'll share some fun facts, some lore you probably don't know about, and I'm going to make a tier list of all of them. Look at that, I have a whole tier list here. Yeah, I want to organize my thoughts a bit and, I don't know, make it kind of fun. So the first intro, season 1, it started in January 2012. So we have a top-down recording of like a breakfast table situation. We have eggs, bacon, coffee, and 3 toasts, which have GMM toasted on them. We have the title card in an outline font saying Good Mythical Morning. And instead of the O, there's the Rhett and Link logo. It's not Good Mythical Morning, that's the Rhett and Link logo. There isn't a Good Mythical Morning logo yet. So this music is royalty-free. In the credits, it's literally royaltyfreemusiclibrary.com. Some fun facts. This is the only season that has its own intro, because like I said, they usually last a few seasons. And the black background that you see is actually the desk that they sat at for the show every day. This is also the only intro that has sponsors directly displayed in it. So it would say like brought to you by Aura Brush, or Catulas is one that we saw quite a bit. So a really fun fact about this one, you know the GMM toasts? They gave the toast to a fan back in the day. So this guy named Jacob got 2nd place in a competition that they were hosting, and so he chose the toasts as his prize. So they sent it to him in the mail, and they included like a printer paper note, and the note is crazy. The picture of them, it's crazy that they look like that. They definitely did look like that though. This is what the note says. Jacob, dude, we apologize if the GMM bread is reduced to crumbs while shipping. We have a sneaking suspicion it'll happen. But hey, official one-of-a-kind GMM toast crumbs. And then they signed it. So I've had kind of a debate with some people around me on whether or not the toast is real food, or if it's just a prop. I think it's real toast, and I have a couple reasons to defend myself. 1, in the note they said they were worried about it turning into crumbs. And then 2, they just weren't super high budget back in the day in terms of like crazy props. Like if you think about it, they had Chase in the back making pine needle tacos. Like,
Pine needles! Will it taco? What? Why are we doing pine needles?
Because there's lots of them to go around.
I will say though, the Reddit post was made 4 years ago, and Jacob said he didn't do anything in particular to preserve them, and they just still look like that. So I don't know. I still think it's real toast, because I feel like that could happen. I feel like it could last. In my opinion, this intro is very generic. I mean, it fits a morning show concept well, because breakfast, but it's not unique to GMM. Like, it doesn't feel like Good Mythical Morning, kind of just feels like Good Morning. With that in mind, I think I'm gonna give this one a D. We can definitely improve from here. We need some mythical themes. So the second intro started in season 2, which was in August 2012, and it lasted through season 5. So in this one, we have like a 2D flat design with some layering going on. We're traveling through this dark, rocky forest. As we move through the forest, the sun rises, and we get this suspicious-looking rooster. It blows fire, and inside the fire, the words Good Mythical Morning appear. So this is their logo. We have GMM branding. So the rooster in this is actually a cockatrice. And I don't know if I'm just dumb, but I thought Rhett and Link invented the cockatrice. But it was already an existing creature. Well, it's not existing, but like, because it's a mythical beast. I don't know, there's a Wikipedia page for it. Sorry, my hair is really bugging me. It's just gonna change randomly. So yeah, the cockatrice is like a rooster mixed with a dragon, so that's why it blows fire. And this is the mascot for GMM. The mascot's name is Belvedere, which was named by like a fan vote, I think. Also, there's an Easter egg in this intro. If you look closely on the left in the shadows, you'll see like some shadowy body parts sticking out between the trees. This is actually another mythical beast, but it's a Rhett and Link mythical beast. I know that. This one doesn't have a regular Wikipedia page. This is a mythical beast called the Randler. Basically what happened is, back in the day, Rhett and Link's fan base joined on the Rhett and Link community, and Rhett and Link wanted a name for the fan base. So they narrowed it down to two options. One is mythical beasts, and the second one is Randlers. And Randler is just R and Eller, so it's just like their initials. Rhett did not want the fan base to be called Randlers. It kind of just felt weird having their initials in the name.
Okay, listen, I'm not trying to sway you people. Randlers is good. I like Randlers. It is original. It is sort of like, well, where'd they get that kind of thing. But Mythical Beast is like there's this identity that can be adopted. Randler's kind of like, I'm a Rhett and Linker. I don't know, I just looked at the voting results and I saw that Randler was winning 54 to 46%. I was like, well, let me weigh in because I've had some thoughts.
I'm not gonna say that I don't like Randlers.
If Randlers wins, Randlers is great. I'm just trying to balance this out a little bit. I just feel like you can build more off of the Mythical Beast thing.
So they chose mythical beasts, and they ended up making a separate creature called the Randler to be the mascot of that community. A fan named Evelina Wara came up with the design of the Randler. They won a contest for it. So yeah, that's how that came to be. It's more so Rhett and Link community mythical branding, and it's not really like Good Mythical Morning branding, but it does show up here. That looks ugly there. This one still has royalty-free music, and at the time, people were contacting Rhett and Link and warning them, being like,
I started noticing that it came up in other places.
People started using it
They're
elsewhere they stole your song, and they're like, it's the music library.
The people credited for this intro are Kendrick Kidd for the cockatrice and flame illustration, and Eden Soto for motion graphics. I like this one. It's a nice setting. I like the forest. Kind of reminds me of the Adventure Time intro. And I like how we have the change from night to morning with the sun rising. I feel like it's a good indication visually that this is a morning show. And like the rooster represents the morning too. It's cute. It feels family friendly, which makes sense because that's kind of what their brand was at the time. They didn't really cuss or talk about mature topics. Now they've said some vulgar things, and they have Good Mythical Evening now. But anyways, the ranking for this one, I think I'm gonna give it a B. It's simple, and simple isn't bad. The previous one was simple, but it was more so generic, whereas this one is simple, but like in a chill way. But still, we have that royalty-free music. Look at this big... So the third intro started in season 6, July 2014, and it lasted through season 8. So in this one, we have some practical effects. We have some islands in a body of water, and there's like a spindly... I don't know what you would call that. It's like a tall thing. It's a tall thing in the middle of the water. You know the one. Hold on. Okay, so Mike Paisley called it a rock column, so it's a rock column. As we pan up the rock column, the moon changes to a sun, and we get this beautiful sunrise. At the top of the rock column, we have a fluffy cockatrice, and it blows the fire logo. So... most importantly, we finally have a GMM tune. No more royalty-free music. We have a theme song. The song was made by Pomplamoose. They're like an indie musical duo, and they met Rhett and Link at a Playlist Live event, and so Rhett and Link were just like, you want to make a song for us? And they were like, sure. And then we also have Digital Twigs working on this. They're a video production company. This isn't the first time they worked with Digital Twigs because they had them work on the Mythical show, which was not GMM. It happened between seasons 3 and 4 of GMM. They built a bunch of props and practical effects for the Mythical show, and they loved their work, so wanted to keep working with Digital Twigs for some GMM intros. The co-creator of Digital Twigs, Mike Paisley, he's now the Mythical creative director. They still have the original cockatrice model, but it's broken now.
This neck part?
Yep. chicken neck broke.
It's
Yeah.
good, right?
So
Look at
Yeah,
him.
that's in our office.
Oh,
now.
watching that, you have no idea what the scale is, but this is the scale. See my hand? That is the scale of the chicken, of the cockatrice.
This is my favorite cockatrice model out of all of the ones we'll see, because it's so... Digital Twigs posted on Instagram. The cockatrice is made out of clay, foam, and feathers, and some other stuff. And on Mike Paisley's website, he has some pictures of the props in their early development. So like the rock column and one of the background islands. This one looks fantastic. The way the light is glistening on the water, all the details in the rock column, that sky at the end is so pretty. It looks like a painting. And the song is very upbeat, it's very positive. The tune itself is very catchy. We'll see other renditions of the tune, but yeah, Pomplamoose did a great job making this tune. It's literally my Animal Crossing town tune. So I think I might be biased when it comes to ranking this, because I feel like there's potential bias towards the season that you started the show off with, or like your favorite season, when it comes to choosing your favorite intro. Okay, it looks like someone's doing their laundry in the room right next to me, so... Anyways, what I was saying is, this one is when I really locked in, watching it every morning, getting those like 4 a.m. notifications, and just waiting to see what they would post next. This one definitely holds a special place in my heart, so I'm gonna give it an A. And you know, maybe it's justified. This was a big jump in production quality for them, and I don't know, it was just a great next step after the forest journey in the previous one. You'll notice that I didn't put it in S. That's because this one is not my number one favorite, despite what I was saying about it. Let's see what the next one's like. I think I'll continue tomorrow because I need some energy for this one. Okay, it's the next day. I guess like an evil witch put a curse on me and made it so that every time I want to record, someone's doing their laundry. I looked over it yesterday and it didn't seem that bad though, so... I have this mug today. I think yesterday I tried making tea in here with 2 tea bags because I usually drink a lot of tea, and so I usually use 2 tea bags, but it tasted like poison, so let's see. Poison review. Okay, it tastes normal. So let's move on to the 4th intro. This one started in season 9, January 2016, and it lasted through season 11. Oh, I love this one. So we have even more practical effects in this one, and we have some stop motion action. In this one, we start off in the clouds, and we're riding on the back of the cockatrice. It's so good. We have a sunrise going on. We go down a mountain, pass through some woods, and we end up in a canyon. The cockatrice drops us off, and it lands on like a Lion King rock, and it blows fire for the Good Mythical Morning logo again. So this one, same production teams as the last one, Pomplamoose and Digital Twigs. They're a great combination so far. So Pomplamoose did an electronic remix of the previous theme they made, and Digital Twig shared some pictures on Instagram of the behind the scenes of making the practical effects for this one. There's a guy peeking through some canyons, no idea who he is, but Digital Twigs, and Paisley's making the clouds. It's so cool. Link described the setting as like Joshua Tree meets Monument Valley. So this one's easily my favorite Good Mythical Morning intro of all time. It's so good. This one really feels like an upgrade from the previous one. Like they're making big moves now and getting really cool concepts like this. I don't even have that much to say about it. I just like this one a lot. That's my fun fact. So to rank this one, I think it's pretty obvious where this one's going. Straight to S. It's a great use of the mythical journey concept, and the remix of the song is like fun, and it's pretty different from the previous music they used, but it's not too different or like crazy. When the intro is this good, you just wonder how they're gonna top it for the next one. So next is the 5th intro. Started in season 12, August 2017, and it lasted through season 14. This one. We have a blue backdrop, and we have some objects in the middle. That's like the concept for this one. So we start off with a clock, gets like a goo, probably like syrup poured on it, and it transforms into a waffle, which transforms into a jar of teeth, and that melts into another puddle of goo, and we get like this deep sea diver helmet. It doesn't really look like a helmet though. It kind of looks like a bomb. But that becomes a guitar, and then that becomes the cockatrice. It blows fire straight at the camera, and we get a new logo and a new title. Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link. Now I can show you the other side of this mug and hold the mug normally. New logo. So Stevie was saying they wanted to try something new for this one. Instead of the traveling through a space journey concept, they went for a transformation concept. The people who worked on this one, we have Digital Twigs for the visuals.
Hey, look at this guy.
What? Who?
This is a new
Where's that
cockatrice.
from? Where's that from?
From your intro.
Yeah.
We just saw it. What do you mean, man?
That,
It's
from
right there.
that, it's that guy.
I've never seen that in person.
either. Just in case you need to know the scale, here's my hand, and here's the cockatrice.
Went
Kiss
on
it.
a different,
Where has this thing been?
In my why?
And for the music, we have Jeff Ziegler and Sarah Shemenek. So I was looking on Jeff's Instagram to see if he has anything related to Good Mythical Morning or like Rhett and Link. And he posts so much, but I didn't see anything. I was just scrolling. And I couldn't find any info on Sarah Shemenek. So sorry. So first off, let's talk about how much work was put into this. I appreciate the creativity coming from the artists. They gave Mythical what they were asking for at the time. They did good. They did their job. So nothing against them. So that was nice me. Now I'm gonna be a hater. I don't like this intro. I have a few reasons. First of all, I don't like the way it looks. It's like a Play-Doh, slime, clay aesthetic. It's like Nickelodeon core. Yeah, this art style doesn't do it for me. Dang, we should have known. We should have known what was coming. Digital Twigs used that clay for the cockatrice before, remember? It was foreshadowing. I also don't like the way it sounds. It's overwhelming. Like immediately you have this jarring alarm clock sound, and there's like a gloopy sound too, which is not helping against the Nickelodeon allegations. It's all very fast paced. It sounds like a lot, it looks like a lot. It's just way more than I want in the morning. Now the big reason why I don't like it, this is the GMM scandal. If you ask any fan if Rhett and Link have ever been in a scandal, they'd probably think of like the religious deconstruction or this era. There's that YouTube video called The Dark Era of GMM. This is what that was about. It's the dark era, it's the yellow era, the red era, the green era. It's just a weird color grading era. Let me give you some context. YouTube came to Rhett and Link with a big opportunity to expand the show. They were gonna make it like a real show. New cameras, bigger crew, huge set, and like a bigger production budget overall, because YouTube was going to co-produce the show. So of course that led to some big changes. Instead of 1 episode a day plus Good Mythical More, it became 4 mini episodes a day. They were like these choppy segments. They were structured but still very hectic. It didn't feel like a comfort show anymore because of like the overwhelming amount of short segments. If you scroll through their playlists, it's just this huge chunk of segments going on from this era. There was just too much. It felt like they were pumping out the show, which was very different from like the authentic, humble beginnings of Rhett and Link that everyone came to know and love. And the intro does not help. It kind of emphasizes the change because they got rid of the mythical journey that they were developing over the past few intros. They got rid of those beautiful landscapes, and there are things that kind of just emphasize like modernization in the show. Like the new title feels like a real TV show that you'd see on cable, and the new fire logo. The old fire logo was very like big, blazing fire, kind of wild looking, but this new one is very sleek. It's very clean, structured, modern. I do like this one though. In my opinion, this is still very creative because you have the letters GMM shaping the fire. Like you've created a fire with those letters, which is cool, but you can't deny that it does seem more modernized. It felt more corporate. It didn't feel like two guys talking anymore. People hated this. It was like the crabby old Mondays of GMM. Kind of polished on the outside, but yucky. Yeah, people hated this so much. It led to a huge backlash for Rhett and Link and their team, which gave Rhett and Link a lot of stress. And then it got worse because Rhett and Link kind of got defensive and they were speaking about it.
We're not robots, and we don't just do everything that you guys want us to do. We do what we think you're gonna want, and a lot of times we'll give you things before you know that you want them. And I think in the end, we always end up creating a product that people like.
They were just trying to communicate with people.
If we keep doing the same thing as, you know, it seems pretentious to call us artists, but whatever you want to call us, we'll go nuts. We can't keep doing the exact same thing. We need to challenge ourselves. At the same time, it's a puzzle for us to get excited about new things while continuing to keep the things that we don't want to get rid of.
But it was just messy. The audience got more mad.
Just be honest, guys. You did this to get more ad revenue. 4 times the videos, 4 times the ad revenue. I would venture to say that the people who have levied that accusation are A, not particularly creative people, and B, definitely not business owners. I think a lot of comments come from kids who don't understand economics and they definitely never run a business.
Yeah, and that's why we should move on because we're getting worked up.
I think it's worth saying because I saw the comment so many times and I took that one personally because if you tell me that the color's off, yeah, you're right. If you tell me that the sound's off, yeah, you're right. We're working on it. You tell me that this particular segment isn't funny, yeah, you're probably right because if you don't think it's funny, it's not funny to you and we're gonna try to keep being funny. But if you say something that's just a bold-faced lie,
I know.
That just is especially upsetting.
I agree with that.
People love to talk on things they don't know about. One of my favorite lyrics. And we're guilty of that a lot. But YouTube commenters are especially guilty of that. The audacity that people have to start giving suggestions as if we haven't thought about a lot of these things, just mind-boggling sometimes. I'm sorry to get frustrated about it, but it's just crazy.
It just destroyed Rhett and Link, their image and their hearts, their brains, because it was so bad.
I couldn't figure out if I was gonna start crying at one point. It's like, am I angry? Am I hurt? They don't think they want it to change, but then they will lose interest if it doesn't change.
This is what drove them to go to therapy. It was too much. I'm probably going to include some clips talking about this just because this was so big, and I want you to hear from Rhett and Link themselves.
The reason I don't want to go back and listen to that episode where we essentially complained I did it more than you did. So I take credit for that. I was defensive. I was in a bad place. I was hurt. I said some things I regret. If that were to happen today, post-therapy, my processing of what was going on would be very different. I think the thing that was so difficult about GMM 22 because it was such a public failure. So many people saw it as you guys tried something and it did not work and it's so obvious to everybody.
Isn't that embarrassing?
Yeah, if you're me, you've placed some of your own personal value in the way that what you've created is received.
But eventually everything returned back to normal. It did take some time though. So yeah, this intro kind of just feels like a reminder of that time. And I'm saying all this, but Good Mythical Morning should be able to change. They need to be able to expand and try new things. Experimenting and exploring weird, unknown things is kind of the point of GMM. It's why they eat all those weird foods. It's just that when you have too many changes at once, it stacks up and it gets overwhelming. Especially because most of the fan base is long-term fans who have seen how they were before and they're used to it because it's kind of been like that for several years now. They like the comfort and the consistency that it has. So yeah, to rank this one, I think it's pretty clear where this one goes. It's going in F. The context of the whole thing just is what makes it worse beyond my small preferences of I don't like how it looks like Play-Doh. If it was released during a normal season of GMM, I wouldn't have that much to say about it. I just probably wouldn't like it that much. It wouldn't be that deep. But yeah, hopefully the artists didn't experience too much hate because they really didn't deserve it. No one did. Moving on from that bummer situation, we have the 6th intro, which started in season 15, January 2019, and it lasted through season 17. So the style of this one is a 2D layered animation. It feels like scrapbooking cutouts, kind of. We have some sightseers looking at mountains of various textures. It shifts around and the words Good Mythical Morning emerge from the ground. And they kind of look like the Hollywood sign. Oh my gosh, my hair is making me lose my mind. I'm gonna cut it all off. I'm gonna shave it. We have the Randler in this one. It's our first time seeing it in full view in a GMM intro, so that's cool. And of course, we have the cockatrice. The cockatrice blows a fire that kind of looks piecey, looks like pieces of paper layered on top of each other. So it's very scrapbooking. And the fire forms the flame logo, and the title appears. I have certain images that come to mind when I think of this one, and I can't unsee them. It's very 2014 hipster aesthetic. You know what it's like? It's like when you go into Target and you're looking at the t-shirts and they have some vintage ones, which are pre-cracked. I don't know if that's mean. The intro also reminds me of this is what I would see at the beginning of a sermon in a contemporary Christian rock church. But I mean, all of that's very on brand for Rhett and Link, at least at the time. They like that earthy, natural aesthetic. Oh gosh, I look like a porcupine. Sorry, maybe I was going too hard on it. I just don't like it. And just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's bad. In the credits, we have Dana Schechter for the intro animation. Looking at other work that Dana has done, it seems like they use dark vignette in animation generally. And we see that here, so like their style is showing through here. The music in this one was done by Mark Byers. Mark Byers specializes in making pop music for different artists and has done quite a bit of work for drag queens and other film productions. So the way that I feel about this one is like the most boring to me, because it's basically just like different shots of mountains and people with some other stuff sprinkled in. I do like the sound it makes when the letters come out of the ground. Oh, I also like this sound. And I do like the way the cockatrice moves. It feels natural, and I like the PC looking fire. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a C. Because it's not that bad. It's pretty solid on its own. It's just not my style. And you know what? C's get degrees. Like me. I got quite a bit of those. Oh, that's scary. It's like... Okay. Next is the 7th intro, which started in season 18, September 2020, and it lasted through season 20. So in this one, we have some heavily decorated slides. It's very dynamic, and there's like a stop motion effect going on. The overall vibe is like surreal and retro, like psychedelic. I've never looked that closely at this intro, so let's go in. So in the first scene, we have a flying spork carrying a banner that says "Let's talk about that," with some kitchen dishware that has overgrowth on it, and there's like a cargo ship carrying the letters to spell good. Oh, and there's like a big bridge in the middle too. And then we get a transition slide, which has some flying retro cars. One of them has 2 aliens in it looking lovingly into each other's eyes. And there's a billboard that has 2 robots in love. That takes us to the next scene, which has a big roach right in the foreground. There are some roaches just hanging out in a bar inside of a cave. The one in the front is making mixed drinks, and there's a big neon sign that says mythical, which is like hanging with the stalactites. And then we're gonna get another transition slide. Why are there spiders? We have some spiders on a pizza rock, and there are some astronauts. Gosh, I'm really bad when it comes to spiders. Like as a kid in class, I remember we were flipping through a book, and one of the pages had a spider on it, and I genuinely could not touch the page. If I touch the page, the spider's gonna get me. And in college, in my apartment, I would get a lot of spiders that would hide in the ceiling light in my room, and I could see them moving around. Whenever I saw them, I would spiral, genuinely. I was having trouble going to class, like, it just sent me into a state, and I'd have to go home. I'd have to leave my apartment and go home with my family. So that's my spider lore. The next scene, we have like a yellow-green prehistoric setting, some volcanoes, these big stone letters that say morning, with a bunch of tourists that have eyeball heads. And then we get a transition slide, but it's like split into 2. One of them is like a temple floating on like a lake maybe, and it's decorated like a charcuterie board, and there are some people jumping off of it. And then we get hand. And the other half of the transition has this blue Godzilla looking guy. He has headphones on, black t-shirt, big gold chain, gold microphone, and there are some, I think those are bees flying near it with a galaxy background. And there's like, oh, I don't know what that's called. Oh, I think it's like a cassette player? Moving on, we get the last scene, which has a galaxy background again, and a cockatrice drawn in like a comic book style, I think, and it has these red eyes. It blows out a fire that looks like hand-drawn, kind of like swirly looking. I like it. And then it becomes the GMM logo, and we get the title. And the cockatrice is in frame the whole time, just hovering next to the logo and the title, which is like the first time this has ever happened. And so far, the only time it'll happen, where the cockatrice is still in frame. We have Matthew Dwyer and Mike Paisley on the visuals. They've both been with Mythical for like a long time now. Mark Byers again for the music. This is like buzzy sounding electronic music. It has like a dreamy synthesizer going on. And the slides are like surreal and nostalgic. So the visuals pair very well with the music. Overall, it has like a synthwave feeling to it. So for this one, you know the Let's Talk About That banner at the beginning? So in the show, each episode usually begins like this. You have some introductory words, and then they say, let's talk about that. And then the intro plays before the episode.
Can we guess where these nuggets came from using only our nugget hole?
Let's talk about that.
But in season 18, they got rid of that whole part before the intro. They replaced it with like a short snippet of the craziest or the funniest thing that happened in the episode. And this made people mad because they got rid of the let's talk about that. It's an iconic thing for Good Mythical Morning, truly. Them getting rid of it is kind of like reminiscent of their big high budget TV days. Especially because they did that with channel growth in mind. Like they were trying to entice new viewers by having that shocking moment at the beginning. But yeah, they ended up bringing it back like very quickly in the middle of season 18. So that's good. They were listening to the fans. The way that the transitions work in this one, it slides, and it kind of reminds me of like there's this thing from back in the day when I was a kid. I'm not even that old, but basically it was this thing, you look into it and it shows you an image. And if you click, it'll slide through like a circular reel and show you another image. I tried looking it up and it said it was called a Viewmaster stereoscope. That's not familiar to me, but I don't think I would have known the name anyways because I was just a kid. But yeah, the way the sliding transition works reminds me of that. Like as if you're clicking through and it's spinning. So that kind of adds to the retro vibe that the visuals have. Anyways, this is like the bug intro. You know that big roach in the bar? The way that the music is buzzing, it feels like the bug is singing. That bug is actually Mark Byers. He made the song. Am I losing my mind? Perhaps. So we need to rank this one. I really like the thought of it. The thought of having little details to look at on each slide is cool. And the concept is so good, like that surreal concept. And they build it very well. It's very strong because of the visuals and music supporting it. But I think there's just too much going on in my opinion. The way the transition works, like the sliding, I'm someone who can get dizzy sometimes. And that sliding, if I'm looking too closely, like how I was for this, it would probably make me feel sick. Like if you were gonna torture me, you have me strapped to a chair and just play this over and over again, I would just die immediately. My body wouldn't be able to take it. I'm gonna give this one... Oh, why is the mythical show on here? I think I accidentally put that in. Because I didn't really know if I should include it, but it's not Good Mythical Morning. Anyways, I think I'm gonna give this one a C. Because there are some good things about it and some bad things. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a break because my head hurts. Maybe I was looking too closely at the screen. Okay, I'm back and I may or may not have a tonsil infection. So yeah, someone's doing laundry again. I'm telling you, it's the curse. So sorry if you hear that. Probably won't be able to though. Let's just get into the 8th intro. So the 8th intro started in season 21, January 2022, and it lasted through season 23. I've never really looked that closely at this one, so we need to like buckle down. It seems like the more recent the intro is, the more detailed it is, which is understandable. But yeah, so there's a lot in this one. Pomplamoose did the music in this, and they posted like a behind the scenes of the production on both ends of this intro. So I'm going to be referencing that a lot. Chase was saying that they wanted like a top-down mythical morning routine concept. Oh, by the way, the mythical crew is credited for the visuals, and they have Ben Eck, Chase Hilt, Matthew Dwyer, and Mike Paisley credited. So immediately this one is reminiscent of the first GMM intro, like the breakfast spread, and that's because this was like their 10-year anniversary of GMM, which is crazy. We have the eggs, the bacon, the coffee, 3 toasts that say GMM. But if you pause the intro, you'll notice the whole scene is a landscape. And in this intro, all of the scenes we'll see are their own landscapes, which is really cool. Very creative, mythical concept. So yeah, in the first scene, we have like a forest filling up the table space, and there's a train going around the plate that has breakfast items as cargo. And I wouldn't have known this if it wasn't for the Pomplamoose video, so.
Got a bunch of little small breakfast items on it. The idea started, Rhett and Link said that they wanted to do something that was shot practically with real elements, live action.
It's a nice detail. There's like a lake in the middle of the plate, I think, and the toasts are on these rock structures. Hold on. There's something in the coffee. This intro is gonna have a lot of me, like, but there's something in there. There's like a creature. I have no idea what that is. It's like swimming around though. I don't know. This whole scene is very large in real life. The model is. But we zoom into the egg, which takes us to the next scene. In this one, we have a yellow bathroom sink. And this sink is actually like a life-sized sink. So everything around it is scaled up to fit that. There's some other bathroom products around the sink. What's crazy is that the objects around the sink are not just like miscellaneous space fillers. Some of them are generic, like the toothpaste, but there are themed objects which have references to the show or like things that Rhett and Link have said. There are Queen Sweep wipes.
Like, you got the queen!
I got the queen, y'all.
You got the queen!
Bring me the queen.
We call this the queen sweep. When Link sweeps it, it's the queen sweep. Queen sweep!
Smell of that cologne.
Smell of that. Smell of that.
My hair goes hairspray.
My hair goes up.
My hair goes down.
Tokyo hair gel.
Tokyo.
What?
Just go to Tokyo and get yourself some candy from Tokyo.
Oh!
It's, sorry.
What?
There's a product that says, "Is it hot?" but I don't know what it is. It's like a bottle of something.
Before he ate it, he was like, "Is that hot?
Is it hot?
It's hot. Is it hot? Is it real hot? I want to get burnt. Is it real hot? Is it too hot?
Dude, how much is it? I don't know, but is it hot? Yes, it's hot.
How much is it? It's 12 ounces. Is it hot? I don't know.
But that is another reference. It's so cool. Like, they didn't even have to do that because you can't even see it in the intro. It's a really fun fact, and I'm very happy to know about that. I was really happy when I found the Pamplemousse video. But yeah, so the sink counter is like a waffle design, and so I imagine the yellow sink is kind of like butter, and there's a brown goop coming out of the faucet, which is like syrup. There are a lot of goops in these intros. Since waffles have like a grid design, Chase was saying that their approach was to mimic a cityscape for this one. And then the objects around it would be like skyscrapers.
That can act as skyscrapers.
So that's the landscape. We have bathroom sink plus cityscape. It's crazy that they thought of that. It feels like they were just brainstorming and entertaining any single creative thought someone had, which is cool. And then we go down the sink drain, which takes us to the third scene, which is like a desk setup. When I watched this before, I had no idea what this was. I was just like, it's pretty. I like the colors. I see some scissors. I thought it was like an arts and crafts situation, but there's more to it. We have desk materials. We have scissors, pencil, stack of papers, paper clips. Link's glasses are there. To me, the colorful patches kind of remind me of like a play mat for a kid, like the colorful ones. I don't know. That's not related. That's not what it is. The actual concept is those colorful sectioned patchwork fields. The stack of paper is acting like a big rock, and there are little cows, some windmills. There's like a UFO in the middle. I imagine it's like adding to the theme to abduct cows. I don't know. We have some wood carving tools at the top to take us to the final scene, which is a carved wooden cockatrice model. And we have some canyons in the background and this very nice cloudy purple sky. And the cockatrice forms the logo as usual, and we get the title. So for the music, it's really cool because we have the behind the scenes perspective of the actual music producer, which is Pamplemousse. So in one of their meetings, Chase was saying that they wanted the music to have an orchestral, indie, organic feel, so not electronic like before. Jack from Pamplemousse shared his music development process.
Going crazy. This one is the taking the melody is this kind of bowed mandola instrument, which is this thing. And I recorded 8 versions of me playing that. That's doubling with guitar, bass, 2 synths, this cool ping sound. Just this guy.
And he showed like the different versions of the intro song that he made. Some fun facts about this one in terms of the music. A crew member named Ben Rose sent a recording of him cooking eggs to Pamplemousse, and they used the sizzling sound in the intro.
It's making eggs. Put it in the background and make it sound like old, scratchy cassette tape vinyl kind of sound.
He also said they sampled a Rhett and Link Supernote sound. Basically, Supernote was a challenge. People would post videos on YouTube of them holding a note for as long as they can, as prompted by Rhett and Link, to see who on YouTube could hold the longest note, and they would combine fan-based submissions into teams, but I won't get into it. That is the contest that Jacob won, though, second place in, the guy that got the toast in season 1. And he also said they used a fan Supernote, which is crazy. To quote the Pomplamoose video, he said, "It took 7 versions, 4 feedback meetings with the Mythical crew, 172 hours of video recording and mixing, 142 layers of audio, 69 emails, all for 7 seconds of music." It makes you realize that so much work goes unseen in the production of all of these intros. So I really appreciate Pomplamoose for sharing this video. I really like the song. It sounds so sweet, it's easy on the ears, and it gets uplifting at the end. It's very friendly and welcoming. Like, this one makes me feel good. I might be biased to like this one more because I saw what went into the production of it. All of the intros had that though, like they all had a lot of work put into production. It's just that it wasn't shared like this before. If you remember, the previous intro had a lot of details which made me overwhelmed because there were so many things directly on the screen. But the themes are way more subtle in this one. Like, you can figure out the landscapes if you look closely, but you still have that main concept leading you through it without having to go that deep. So yeah, like on the most surface level, it's a pretty straightforward intro. Chase shared an animatic when they were having a meeting and it looked like this. So yeah, it's not that crazy. It does have details, but because they're subtle, you don't get overwhelmed by having a bunch of things right in front of you to look at. Honestly, this intro is not one that I immediately turn to or think of. I definitely slept on this one before. I never knew how thoughtful it was. So let's rank it. I'm gonna give it an A. I think it ties with that season 6 one because of the quality of it and because of how thoughtful it is. But if it was a letter grade, it would probably be like an A-, just because I like season 6 more. And I would have given it a B prior to researching it. But yeah, now that I know all of like the creative thinking that went into it, it's an A. That video really made me see it differently. Okay, the last intro. The 9th intro started in season 24, September 2023, and it is still here to this day, present day, which is season 27. We start off with a Rhett and Link handshake, like their classic pose they do, and the handshake turns into their blood oath. If you didn't know, back in the day, before moving on to high school, Rhett and Link had a spot in the woods in North Carolina where they had their rock conversations. Like, there was a big rock and a little rock. If you're on the big rock, you're the one who can speak. It's your turn. Little rock is just asking questions.
I could just hear you saying, "You know what? If you're on the big rock, you can say anything you want. If you're on the little rock, you can only ask questions."
So that was their rock story. But anyways, they were at their rocks.
This is where the blood oath happened.
They took a sharp rock, cut their hands, and they had sheets of paper.
We did put them together, but we mostly put them on a sheet of paper that we each had.
On which they promised,
"We are going to do something great together."
We're gonna create something.
Together, yeah.
And they went back and renewed the oath as adults in 2019.
I feel actually a bit emotional. Any questions?
Are you gonna cry?
I could definitely cry. I like how you're down on one knee. You're proposing to me. Now, I know that the finger, you can really prick a finger.
With a needle? How about like on the knee? Can you get blood out of a knee?
It's not really an oath when two guys are touching knees.
It didn't work, but you know what? It was still very meaningful.
Let's make awesome stuff together.
Let's keep making awesome stuff together.
Yeah.
Isn't that so sweet? It's kind of a lot, but I mean, things worked out well for them. Anyways, that's 1 second of the intro down. The blood oath hands morph into a drawing of Rhett and Link's heads combined into one neck. So it's like the old Rhett and Link logo. Rhett opens his mouth and there's like a big blue wave in his mouth. I don't know what that's referencing. Yeah, I don't know. But there are some foods that go into Rhett's mouth, and the food feels like a reference to their food content, which is very popular. But the food is entering Rhett's mouth in reverse order of when the Willet episode for that food came out. Like, he eats a hot dog and then a burger and then a taco, and the Willet episodes came out as Willet taco, Willet burger, and then Willet hot dog. So I just thought that was cool. Link gets fed a tomato, and he hates tomatoes, but he only wants the tomato on the pizza.
Oh, I want the tomato.
And I only want the tomato on the pizza.
Link's tongue turns into like snakes that curl around the tomato and he doesn't eat it. And in his mouth he has like a staircase or something, or like books. I don't know what that reference is either. A dart peels that blue background away as a transition. We get this black background that has gold details on it, which are references to the show. There's an envelope, which might be referencing Thursday Means Mail or like Mythical Society. There's a shuffleboard and some other mystical designs. There's a cockatrice riding on a pepper, so I guess it's referencing like super popular hot pepper challenges they've done. Some snakes come out of Rhett's eyes and they have one eyeball on the end. An eye appears on Link's forehead, like a third eye, saying let's talk about that. And then everything kind of sucks in and combines into an egg, and the cockatrice hatches out of the egg with this black starry background. As the cockatrice hatches, these black birds carry up the sun as like a backdrop, and we get the cockatrice blowing the fire logo and the title. This is our first time seeing the change from nighttime to morning in a GMM intro ever since the Blue Void disaster. The visuals were done by Fantoons, which is an animation studio. They've made multiple things for Rhett and Link. They've made a mythical coloring book. They did the Blood Oath comic book series. They did a puzzle. I should buy that. One thing about me, I love to turn off my brain and just do a good puzzle for hours alone. The style of the intro is like traditional tattoo art, and the theme of it is very grungy, dark, mystical, which is probably inspired by, you know, their mythical society concept. The edginess of this intro fits their maturity now. Like if you compare it to season 2, the family friendly one, this one's kind of darker and the show overall is kind of more mature. The vibe of this intro kind of reminds me of like Misadventures of Flapjack. I don't know. The music was composed by Rhett and Link themselves though, which is very cool. I like the ASMR bubbling, popping sounds going on. Yeah, I like how chill this one is. It kind of sounds like an underwater level in a game. But yeah, I like this one. The theme doesn't do it for me that much. I do like the switch to a dark theme. That is a unique concept for them. I'm gonna give this one a C. Yeah, I think I appreciate it as much as I appreciate the other ones in C. So yeah, that's it. We're waiting on the next intro, so we'll see how that goes. I love Good Mythical Morning so much. I've been working on a deep dive of Good Mythical Morning, but it's just a monster of a project. Like, it feels like it's never gonna come out. But yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. I plan on making more videos in general, because I had fun doing this. So yeah.